Welcome back to Naturally His, the podcast where we explore biblical wellness and God's intricate design for our bodies. I'm your host, Alicia Hicks, and today we're tackling a topic that affects millions of people but rarely gets enough attention it deserves: life after gallbladder removal. Gallbladder removal is one of the most common surgeries performed today. It's often presented as a simple fix for gallstones, digestive pain, and inflammation. You don't really need it, some doctors say. You'll be fine without it. But here's the reality. Your gallbladder wasn't optional. God didn't design your body with spare parts that serve no purpose. And once your gallbladder is removed, your body undergoes a cascade of changes that most people are never warned about. If you've had your gallbladder removed, or if you're considering the surgery, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about what the gallbladder actually does, what happens when it's gone, and most importantly, how to support your body for the long haul so you can thrive, not just survive. And if you still have your gallbladder but it's struggling, we're also going to talk about why gallbladders become diseased in the first place. Because understanding root causes is key to true healing. Let's dive in. Before we talk about what happens when the gallbladder is removed, we need to understand what it does when it's functioning properly. Because once you understand God's beautiful design, you'll see why losing this organ creates ripple effects throughout your entire system. The gallbladder is a small pear-shaped organ that sits just beneath your liver. It might be small, but its job is vital. Here's what it does. It stores and concentrates bile. Now, bile is a bitter yellow-green fluid made by your liver, and bile is one of the most underappreciated substances in your entire body. Most people think bile just helps digest fats, and that's true, but it does so much more. Let me walk you through bile's critical role. First, bile emulsifies fats. When you eat dietary fats, whether that's an avocado, butter, olive oil, or even some salmon, your body needs to break down that fat into tiny particles so it can be absorbed into your small intestine. Bile acts like soap, breaking large fats into smaller droplets that digestive enzymes can work on. Without adequate bile, you can't properly digest or absorb fats. Second, bile is a major detoxification pathway. Your liver processes toxins, excess hormones, heavy metals, cholesterol, and even metabolic waste. It then packages them into bile to be eliminated from your body. Bile carries out things like old estrogen, excess cholesterol, environmental chemicals and medications, mold toxins, even parasite debris and liver byproduct. If bile flow is compromised, these toxins can be reabsorbed back into your bloodstream instead of being eliminated. This is a huge problem that we're going to come back to in a moment. But third, bile triggers gut motility. Bile stimulates a wave-like contraction that moves food through your digestive tract. This is why people with poor bile flow often struggle with constipation. Bile literally keeps things moving. Fourth, bile regulates your gut microbiome. Bile has natural antimicrobial properties that keep opportunistic bacteria, yeast, and parasites in check. When bile flow is disrupted, the risk of bacterial overgrowth, like candida, it increases significantly. And fifth, bile helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These vitamins are crucial for immune function, for bone health, for your vision and hormone production, even brain health. Without adequate bile, even if you're eating these nutrients or taking supplements, you can't absorb them properly. So bile is your body's built-in detergent, detoxifier. It's your digestive stimulant and nutrient absorption enhancer. It's absolutely essential. Now here's where the gallbladder comes in. Your liver produces bile continuously, but you don't need bile flowing all the time. You need it when you eat, especially when you eat fat. So God designed the gallbladder as a storage and concentration system. Between meals, bile flows from the liver into the gallbladder where it's stored and concentrated. It's made more potent. Then when you eat a meal containing fat, your gallbladder contracts and releases these concentrated bile right when you need it. It's a perfectly fine-tuned system. The gallbladder ensures you get the right amount of bile right at the time your body needs it most. This is intelligent design, friends. This is God's miracle design. Your body isn't a random collection of parts. It's an integrated, purposeful system where every organ plays a specific role. The gallbladder isn't optional. It's a key player in digestion, detoxification, and overall health. So what happens when the gallbladder is surgically removed? Well, your liver still produces bile that doesn't stop. But instead of being stored, concentrated, and released in response to food, the bile now drips continuously into your small intestine in a weaker, more diluted form. This disrupts that finely tuned system we just talked about, and it creates several significant problems. So let me walk you through just some of the major ones. First, without the gallbladder storage and concentration function, your body can't break down fats as efficiently. Even healthy fats like that avocado and olive oil, even if you choose the grass-fed butter and fatty fish, these may now trigger discomfort because you don't have enough concentrated bile to handle them. Some symptoms that you might feel from this is bloating after eating, especially after eating fatty meals. Floating or pale stools indicating undigested fat. Diarrhea, loose stools, greasy, sticky bowel movements, nausea, especially after rich foods. Feeling full or heavy in the upper right abdomen. But the problem goes beyond discomfort. If you can't digest fats properly, you cannot absorb fat-soluble nutrients. Over time, this leads to deficiencies in vitamin A, D, E, and K, as well as omega-3 fatty acids, choline, and CoQ10. These deficiencies are going to affect your hormone production, especially because hormones are made from cholesterol and they require fat-soluble vitamins. It's going to affect your vision and eye health, your brain function and mood, bone strength, immune resilience, cardiovascular health. So what starts as digestive discomfort can cascade into systematic health issues over time. The second major problem is impaired detoxification. Remember, bile is a primary pathway for eliminating toxins. When bile flow is compromised, these toxins can be excreted, can be reabsorbed through a process called recirculation. This means toxins get recycled back into your bloodstream instead of being eliminated. Over time, they accumulate in tissues and fat stores, worsening inflammation and creating a toxic burden on your body. This raises your risk of hormone imbalances because hormones aren't being cleared, brain fog and cognitive issues, leading to Alzheimer's and dementia symptoms in later age, autoimmune conditions, skin problems, rashes, acne, eczema, liver congestion and chronic fatigue, chemical sensitivities. Your liver works so hard at packaging toxins for elimination, but if the elimination pathway is broken, these toxins will back up. It's like having a garbage disposal that doesn't empty. Eventually, everything backs up into the system. The third problem is the hormonal chaos, especially for women. Bile is crucial for clearing used up hormones, particularly estrogen. When bile flow is poor, old estrogen metabolites aren't eliminated efficiently, and this can lead to estrogen dominance, which manifests as PMS, heavy periods, fibroids, endometriosis, weight gain around your hips, thighs, and your lower belly, mood swings, irritability, anxiety, histamine sensitivity, migraines, especially hormonal migraines, breast tenderness. Bile also influences thyroid hormone conversion in the liver and the gut. Sluggish bile can mimic or worsen thyroid issues, leading to fatigue, cold hands and feet, hair loss, slow metabolism, difficulty losing weight. So if you've had your gallbladder removed and you're struggling with hormonal symptoms that won't resolve, impaired bile flow may be a hidden factor. So fourth problem is the gut imbalance. Bile has natural antimicrobial effects that keep your gut ecosystem balanced. Without proper bile release, undigested fats feed opportunistic bacteria. The gut environment becomes imbalanced. Motility slows, leading to fermentation and bacterial overgrowth. Risk of small intestinal bacterial overgrowth like candida and leaky gut increases. Some symptoms that you might begin to feel is excessive gas, bloating, burping, acid reflux, alternating constipation and diarrhea, nutrient malabsorption, food sensitivities, chronic inflammation. Many people who've had gallbladder removal develop mysterious digestive issues months or even years later. Often the root is this disrupted bile flow leading to microbial imbalance. And last, the fifth problem, liver congestion. When the bile flow is altered, your liver has to work harder to excrete waste. But there's a bottleneck in the system. Toxins back up and the liver becomes congested. This is going to show up as headaches, especially over the eyes and the crown of the head. Skin issues like rashes, eczema, unexplained breakouts you've never experienced before. Chemical sensitivities, reactions to perfumes, cleaners, fragrances. Eye floaters, tension behind the eyes, anxiety and irritability, elevated liver enzymes showing on your blood work, and worsening reactions to medications or supplements. Over time, this impacts the mitochondrial health, your detox capacity, and lymphatic drainage, essentially your body's ability to heal and maintain wellness. Now, before we talk about how to support your body after gallbladder removal, we need to ask an important question. Why did the gallbladder become diseased in the first place? Because here's the thing, gallbladders don't just go bad randomly. They become inflamed, sluggish, or develop stones because of deeper imbalances in the body. So what we might call terrain level breakdown. Common root causes can include low stomach acid. Stomach acid signals the release of bile. If you have chronically low stomach acid, often from stress or aging, sometimes nutrient deficiencies, or even taking acid-suppressing medications, bile doesn't get released properly. It sits stagnant. It becomes thick and sludgy and stones can form. Processed low-fat diets, if you avoid dietary fat, especially if you've been told for years that fat is bad, your gallbladder never empties fully. It's like a muscle that doesn't get used. It becomes sluggish and dysfunctional. Ironically, low-fat diets can contribute to gallbladder disease. High estrogen levels, excess estrogen from birth control pills, hormone replacement therapy, pregnancy, or estrogen dominance. This thickens bile and increases cholesterol saturation, raising the risk for gallstone formation. Nutrient deficiencies. Deficiencies in taurine, choline, magnesium, and bile salts impair bile production and flow. Without these key nutrients, bile becomes thick and stagnant. Mold exposure, parasites, or infection, these can clog bile ducts. It can create inflammation and contribute to sludge and stone formation. Chronic stress and nervous system dysregulation. When your body is in chronic fight or flight state, digestion shuts down. Bile flow decreases. Over time, this contributes to gallbladder dysfunction. The point is this, gallstones, sludge, or inflammation are symptoms, not root causes. They're your body's way of saying something deeper is wrong. My digestion, my hormones, my stress, my nutrients. And here's what's sobering. If those underlying imbalances aren't addressed, symptoms may continue or worsen even after the gallbladder is removed. You might remove the organ, but you haven't fixed the terrain. This is why it's so important to address root causes rather than trying to heal your gallbladder before surgery or support your body after surgery. So if you've already had your gallbladder removed, what do? Can you still live healthy and vibrant? Absolutely. But you must compensate for what was lost. You have to support your body intentionally because that automatic bowel release system, it's gone. Let me give you 6 practical strategies. First and foremost, support bile flow every single day. This means sometimes taking ox bile salts, with your meals containing fat. This replaces the concentrated bile your gallbladder used to provide. Start with a moderate dose and adjust based on your symptoms. Use bitter herbs before meals. Bitters stimulate bile production and release. Try dandelion artichoke, burdock. You can take them as a tincture, a tea, a capsule, about 15 minutes before eating. Drink lemon water or diluted apple cider vinegar 15 minutes before meals. This will stimulate digestive secretions, including bile. Support cofactors for bile production include magnesium, taurine, glycine. These are all involved in bile synthesis and function. And remember, bile is 95% water, so stay well hydrated throughout the day. Second, digestive enzymes are essential, especially ones high in enzymes that break down fat. Look for broad-spectrum enzymes that include ox bile, amylase, protease. Take these with every meal, adjusting the dose based on meal size and the fat content of the meal. Larger, fattier meals need more support. Third, adjust how you eat. Without a gallbladder, you can't handle large fatty meals as well. So eat smaller, more frequent meals rather than 3 huge meals a day. Focus on quality fats, not quantity. Choose nutrient-dense fats like avocado, ghee, olive oil, egg yolks, wild-caught fish. Avoid fried, processed, and oxidized oils like vegetable oil, canola oil, margarine. And add fiber-rich vegetables. These help bind excess bile acids that support elimination. And stay hydrated with filtered water and a pinch of mineral-rich sea salts. Celtic salt is my favorite. Fourth, actively restore fat-soluble vitamins because you're now at a higher risk of deficiency. Use emulsified versions of vitamin A, D, E, and K. These forms are pre-broken down and easier to absorb without a gallbladder. Test your vitamin D and your vitamin A levels regularly. Include nutrient-dense foods, pasture-raised liver, eggs yolks, wild-caught fish, grass-fed ghee, cod liver oil. Fifth, approach detoxification carefully. Your bile-dependent detox pathways are more fragile now. Aggressive detox protocols can backfire and make you feel worse. Instead, focus on opening drainage first, the lymph, kidneys, colon, skin, before doing deeper detox work. Use gentle binders like activated charcoal, bentonite clay, or modified citrus pectin to help eliminate toxins safely. You can apply castor oil packs over the liver 3 to 5 times per week to support lymphatic drainage and liver function. Incorporate infrared saunas, dry brushing, lymphatic massages to support the detox pathways. Let's avoid extreme fasting, aggressive cleanses, and intense parasite protocols until your system is stable. And working with a qualified professional will help you know when your system is ready. 6, and this one might surprise you, address the emotional and spiritual aspects. In traditional Chinese medicine, the gallbladder governs courage, clarity, and decision-making. In Ayurvedic medicine, it's associated with the ability to digest life and move forward boldly. And while I don't necessarily agree with all cultural healing modalities, the science always breaks back down to God's design. And scientifically, it is proven that after gallbladder removal, many people report increased indecisiveness, fear of change, suppressed anger or resentment, difficulty setting boundaries, feeling stuck or unable to move forward. This isn't just psychological. There's a mind-body connection. Emotional release work, nervous system healing, breath work, somatic therapy, and especially prayer can be deeply supportive as you heal. Ask God to reveal any unprocessed emotions, unforgiveness, or fear that might be stored in your body. Invite the Holy Spirit into your healing journey, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Friends, if you've ever had your gallbladder removed, I want you to hear this. You can still live a vibrant, healthy life. Your gallbladder may be gone, but your power to support your body is fully intact. This organ wasn't removed by accident or bad luck. It was responding to deeper imbalances in digestion, in stress, hormones, nutrients, liver and nervous system health. And those imbalances need attention, whether gallbladder is still there or not. By compensating wisely for what was lost, supporting bile flow, using enzymes, adjusting diet, restoring nutrients, detoxing gently, and addressing emotional terrain, you can actually live in greater health than before. Not despite the surgery, but because you finally addressed the root cause that created the problem in the first place. God designed your body with incredible resilience and adaptability. Even when an organ is removed, your body can compensate and heal if you give it the support it needs. So here's your action step this week. If you've had your gallbladder removed, pick one strategy we talked about and implement it. Start with the bile salts and digestive enzymes. Those are foundational, they're key. Then build from there. If you still have your gallbladder but it's struggling, focus on root causes. Optimize your stomach acid, eat healthy fats regularly, address nutrient deficiencies, manage stress, and support your liver. And whether you have a gallbladder or not, remember your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. It's resilient. It's designed to heal, and God is with you in this journey if you allow Him to be. So thank you for joining me on Naturally His today. If this episode has helped you, please share it with someone who had gallbladder surgery or is facing that decision. And as always, steward well the body God has entrusted to you. If you're looking for more information and education on biblical herbalism, I invite you to join the Biblical Herbalism Academy at heritagehavens.com with myself. You'll have a lifetime access to courses on all topics, weekly open discussion time calls live. I invite you to come learn about God's design and His bounty He's left on earth for us. So until next time, walk in wisdom, seek root causes, and trust the healer. And I'll see you in class.